What's going on, boxing fans? Welcome to The Distance. My name is Julian Williams. I said in my update video that it was going to be my last video for a while, but this is something I couldn't even stay away from. Um, this is about Mikkel Kessler pulling out of the Super 6 middleweight tournament with an eye injury. I believe the news came out today that there was a press conference for Mikkel Kessler pulling out of the Super 6 eye injury. It's going to take it like 8-9 months to heal completely, which means he could have like possibly another year layoff from the ring. So now somebody in this tournament is going to have to replace Mikkel Kessler to face Alan Green, pretty much on short notice. I think it's like 6 weeks away from that matchup, so they have to get somebody right away to face Alan Green. Um, this is I guess this is stuff that you have to think about when you have a tournament such as the Super 6, where fighters are consistently fighting and continuously fighting each other. And, I guess supremacy is on the line in such a tournament. You're going to have conflict, and you're going to have injuries, and also you're going to have that possibility of fighters pulling out. We had that with Jermaine Taylor in February, or actually January. And now we have Kessler pulling out, who's actually a champion that's involved in this tournament. Quite honestly, I do believe that Mikkel Kessler's career should end now. Because before the tournament, about a year before the tournament was scheduled, Kessler was out because of promotional problems. He had contract problems with I forgot which promotional company he was with. I'm not sure if it was Team Sauerland or something else, but he had problems with his promotional contract, and he missed a whole year, and came back in like September the 19th of last year. Came back, fought like 3 times in less than a year. Been fighting 3 times in less than a year. Was going on to almost his 4th fight, and from September 2009 to like October. Was coming into like almost his 4th fight, but unfortunately he was injured, and he can't do the fight. If you look at the Ward and the Froch fights, he did catch some good shots to the eye. I didn't read to whether or not he was hurt in training or if it was from a previous bout, but that Kessler Froch fight was a pretty decent scrap, and both men were laying it out on the line in that fight, but they were just standing there and they were just trading shots, and they both caught some really good ones. So who knows? But eye injury is very dangerous to any boxer's career, and you don't want to go into a fight with just one eye. Just imagine. I think about it this way: Joe Frazier, pretty much his entire career, from what I know, he was blind in one of his eyes. And just imagine how effective he could have possibly been if he had both eyes. And like I said, it's dangerous to fight with one eye. So it's just like fighting with one arm tied behind your back. It's just very difficult. So in a tournament such as the Super 6, these issues arise. Problems such as these arise. And it's not really until this round of the tournament until we're starting to see more problems become evident. Carl Froch not fighting in Germany. War versus Durrell has yet to find a venue. Now Carl Froch pulling out of the tournament due to an eye injury. So it's not really until this round until we're starting to see more problems. And the last round, a lot of fights were pushed back. Durrell versus Abraham pushed back so that Durrell could move the fight to his hometown of Detroit, Michigan. Injury with Andre Ward, and the only fight that really happened on time was the Kessler Froch. I believe it was the only fight that happened the time it was supposed to happen. And now in this round, I believe the fights are going to happen, but but at the same time, I'm not even too sure about Ward versus Durrell, because now we're about a month away from that fight, and there's still no venue. And I'm pretty sure that Abraham versus Frost is going to happen, and I hope that they find an opponent for Alan Green. I guess the best bet for this round of the tournament, the best bet is to bring in another champion. They're not bringing in Lucian Butte because he's tied to Jesse Brinkley for October 2nd. The best bet is to bring in Robert Stieglitz. Bring Robert Stieglitz into the tournament. Edison Moran is just coming off a loss. People are saying Sakio Bika coming off a disqualification. Labrado Andrade is another guy they could possibly bring in who's coming off a victory over Eric Lucas back in May. But me personally, even though I guess the most sensible thing is to bring in another champion, but I would understand with Labrado Andrade. Now I would understand with Labrado Andrade because he has a victory over the champion who is Robert Stieglitz, who's the WBO super middleweight champion. So I think that Labrado Andrade is the guy to step in for Mikkel Kessler. He has a matchup with Kessler. He's fought three of the super middleweight champions. So I think that the most sensible thing is to bring in Labrado Andrade to take Kessler's spot. Even though the person who's the replacement has a lot of shoes to fill with Kessler, I think that the right thing would be to bring in another champion. But at the same time, Andrade, I think, would be the best choice to fill in that spot. So it's unfortunate that the injury happened to Kessler, but injuries happen in all the sports, especially on the professional and even amateur and high school level. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can really do about it. So anyway, guys, Kessler pulls out the Super 6 tournament. Hopefully he faces the winner of the tournament, and the rest is history. So anyway, guys, that was The Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.